Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial video, and this is tutorial number 7, and today we're going to look at the taxi procedure in the 737, or in this case that's going to be taxi out to the runway. First, a disclaimer: I'm not a real-world pilot, so everything might not be 100% correct, but it should be good enough for you to make a realistic flight inside the simulator. So, the first thing I want to talk about is some numbers. So when you're taxiing on the apron, like we are going to do now in the beginning, you are limited to a maximum of 15 knots. I remark this is 50. This is the maximum. You can taxi slower, but this is the maximum. You should not exceed 50 knots on aprons. On turns, normally 10 knots. If it is a wider turn, you can exceed 10 knots, but normally 10 knots is good enough. On a straight taxiway, you can taxi up to 30 knots. And if you're backtracking a runway or taxiing on the runway, you can speed up all the way up to 50 knots. If the runway is, if the taxiway is contaminated, like very wet or snow, you should probably the limit is going to go down to like 5 knots. So when we're going to begin our taxi, we're going to do a takeoff config. That means we're going to just advance the thrust levers quickly up and down to above 70% N1. And when we are going to taxi, we are going to not exceed the N1 at above 40%. This is because of noise, and it can make a hazard for the people on the ground if we exceed 40%. So when you have done the before taxi checklist, and if you're flying online, you have got your taxi clearance, we can begin taxi. We can first confirm, check that it is clear on the left side of the aircraft, and it is clear on the right. And we go to confirm the taxi route. So today, we're going to take a left turn here now, taxi via Delta, up to Victor. We're going to take a right turn to Sierra here, going to take a left turn, and up to Bravo 9 for runway 19 left. So when you're ready, you can turn on the turn off lights and the taxi light. You can release the brakes. And you can advance the thrust levers up to check takeoff config. As you can see, nothing, and you can set them to about 40%. So again, to check the takeoff config, just quickly up and down. And sometimes this aircraft might be a little bit hard to turn. What you can use then is differential braking. So if you turn to the left, you can maybe use a little bit braking on the toe brake on the left pedal to increase the turn radius. So yeah, this can be I have encountered a turning problem with this aircraft, especially after landing. I'm not sure why, but like I said, if you have any problems with that, you could just use some differential braking, and the turn should be a little bit quicker. Okay, now we can just continue straight ahead. Remember, we are not going to exceed 50 knots and 40% L1. We're going to check again that there's no traffic on the left and nothing on the right. And we're going to take a gentle turn to align the aircraft up on the center line. So, turning. In the 77, you are sitting in the flight deck. You're sitting up in front of your landing gear or your nose gear. So to be able to make the, especially the main gears in the middle of the center line, you need to overshoot a bit. This is you need to overshoot more in the 800 and the 900 than, for example, in the 7 and the 600. So it depends on the aircraft length. So basically what you're going to do, you are just going to taxi a little bit out and then take a right turn. Maybe spawn on the runway or something and just taxi around and try to practice. It is a little bit hard to describe when you should turn, so you can just see when I'm normally turning, and you can just follow right after. So yeah, just practice. Practice makes perfect. So like I said, just practice and you should be pretty good at it sometime. There you go. That was one turn. And also much easier to make a turn if you are at 10 knots or less. I think we may have been at 11 knots, but that is not a problem. And now we can speed up a little bit again. So when you're braking, try not to like brake rapidly. Try to smoothly brake the aircraft down. Makes it just a little bit more comfortable for the passengers. Let's check again. No traffic on the right, and there is also nothing on the left here, so we are pretty much cleared. So like I said, gently brake, not too hard. Down to 10 knots. There you go. And now we're going to taxi to Bravo 9. So you might lose some speed when you are turning, but just increase the power a little bit right after turn. Maybe also you need to increase it a little bit in the turn, but if you need to, then just do it. See, now we are approaching the holding point. So when you're going to park the aircraft, for example, if you see on the top of the glare shield and to the ground, when you're sitting in correct sitting position in the 77, you are not going to be able to see like 7 meters in front of you. So that's something to note. So when you're sitting in the cockpit, it might seem you are closer to something than you actually is. And that is because of the distance from the nose gear and the height of the aircraft. Because you can't see like 7 meters in front of you because of the nose and everything in front of you. So when you're stopping, don't try to stop exactly on. It is good with a little margin. So like now, for example, we can gently brake and we can stop around. That was not a gentle brake, but you can stop here. You can see here the nose gear is still not there, and it seems like we have overshooted. So yes, just to know that. We can set our parking brake, and we can turn off our taxi light to indicate that we're not going to move. And there you go. That was the taxi tutorial in the 77. So I hope that you have enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you again on our future live stream. So have a good one, everybody, and bye bye.